Now let's move on to air pollution and energy part together, because energy production also create a lot of air pollution problem in Taiwan. So let's talk about it together. This is slide. This slide shows the breakdown of PM 2.5 emission in Taiwan for different sector. There are almost 37% of PM 2.5 is coming from overseas, mainly from mainland China, especially during winter season. And for the transportation part, the motorcycle part is a lot, is about 3%. And for electricity, we have 5% of contribution. And there are also some bare ground dust. We'll talk about that later. This is the transportation contribution of emission in Taiwan. We call this motorcycle fountain. And it's a lot. Currently, we have more than 14 million motorcycles in Taiwan. Consider that we only have 23 million people here, and we have 14 million motorcycles. So almost every 2 people have 1 motorcycle. So this is a picture taken on the street of Taipei City. So a lot of workers from New Taipei City, they entered to Taipei City, and this is the shot, very famous, even in overseas news, CNN. And in terms of vehicle per 1,000 people, Taiwan, we have 333 vehicle per 1,000 people. Is there a lot to put it on a perspective for Australia? Your country is running around 8,000 vehicles. So look like we are not that a lot, but considering that Taiwan is very small land space, so it's quite cloudy. And this is the dust from the river, the bare ground dust. For it getting worse during the winter time, since that for the winter time we don't have a lot of rain. Remember, on previous hour we talked about Taiwan rely on typhoon for water. So for no rain season, the water flow on the river is very low, so a lot of bare land coming up, and there's no vegetation on top of it. So when wind blows, it becomes a lot of dust. So it's very important to have a vegetation on the river bed, but this vegetation was destroyed during the flood season, so it's not very easy to maintain. Now let's look at about the energy issue. In Taiwan, currently we are using mainly coal to produce energy. That's about 46%, and the nuclear is about 12%. And we have natural gas is much cleaner than coal, but it's about 33%. And for nuclear power, we have 3 nuclear power generation plant right now, and they should be phased out very soon. And we do build a nuclear power 4, but the current government shut it down, so it's not going to in operation anymore. And so in 2025, that is just 4 years from now, they have a very broad vision or ambition to phase out all nuclear power, and also to reduce the coal generation by almost 15% to 30%, which means that we will rely on mainly renewables source and natural gas. But for natural gas have his problem as well. Let's look at the energy density for power generation. So for nuclear, if you want to produce per square kilometer of land space, if you put nuclear power plant, you can generate around 3,000 gigawatt hours of electricity. And right now, Taiwan rely on wind power and solar panel. For the wind power, this number is less than 1,000. So to supply the same amount of energy, the land required will be 3 to 4 times more. And in terms of energy density for natural gas, it's much higher than coal. So look like it's a good option. And like I said, that natural gas is much cleaner than coal. However, for the storage of natural gas is a little bit difficult. This is the figure showing that for the natural gas to be transported, you have to liquefy the natural gas. For the liquefaction process, you need to compress it, so you put a lot of energy into to make it liquefies. And then you have the ship transport to other country. So we receive those natural gas container, shipping container, and so we need a port to receive the natural gas. And all this transportation need energy as well. So in terms of life cycle, you have to be very careful. While Taiwan tried to shift the energy supply from coal to natural gas, from to increase natural gas energy production from 33% to 50%, we need more natural gas reception terminal for the natural gas. So there's a controversy in Taiwan right now. They have a plan to build the reception station, a terminal at Alger Reef. Let's look at the news and what happened to this controversy.